Hi, everybody. So in this video, I'm going to talk about transactional analysis, how it applies to a couple. But before I do that, for those of you that did not see the transactional analysis for self under Self 101, transactional analysis came out, it was a book that came out in 1967, believe it or not. It was on the New York Times bestseller list for 2 years in 1972. And it was a book called I'm Okay, You're Okay. And what it explained to everyday people like myself at that time was Sigmund Freud's idea of the superego, the ego, and the id, okay, which translated in transactional analysis to the parent, the adult, and the child. So I read that book years later, and it really helped me to understand Freud's approach regarding who we have in us, meaning our parent, our adult, and our child, and how we regulate them. Okay? So that's under Self 101. Now what I'm going to do is take the transactional analysis approach of parent, adult, and child, and I'm going to apply it to what happens with a couple. All right? So let's watch the illustration, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay? See ya. So now how does that work with a couple? Well, if you have a parent, adult, and a child in you, then so does the other person. So this is self, this is other. The trick is intimacy. Remember, there's 5 realms of those. That's another video. Intimacy happens between the two adults in the relationship. And that makes sense if you think about it. Because if you have a parent and a child in a relationship together, that's not good because one always has to be the authority and the other one is always acting out. So there's a classic example of this. They used to call it in therapy Peter Pan syndrome. And that's where you have an adult male who acts like a child, which leaves his wife or his significant other nowhere to go but to be the parent. And there's no intimacy. There is no intimacy going on in this relationship at all for obvious reasons. The only relationship that you're going to have that has intimacy is going to be adult and adult. It's really important for each of us to take responsibility for the child within us so that our partners don't have to parent us and parent our child. And like I said in the illustration, create that seesaw effect, okay? It is our job to parent our child, thereby allowing both of our adults to be intimate with one another. The only exception, I will tell you, when your child gets to be parented by your partner's parent is when you're ill, when you're sick, when you're not feeling well and you just want someone to take care of you. Then your partner's best parent can come out to take care of the child in you because you can't, okay? You're in bed, you're throwing up, you've got the flu, you have a cold, or God forbid, you have a more serious ailment, or you had to have a surgery or something like that, okay? Then it's okay for your child to come out and allow, allow your partner to parent you, okay? Now, be careful of that child. That child doesn't get to be mean to that parent, okay? That child needs to be sweet and kind and vulnerable in order for their partner's parent to take care of them, okay? I think that's it. I have a cheat sheet as usual. Let me just make sure. Oh, let me add one more thing to this. When you have someone who is stuck in their child, meaning they're indulging their child all the time, and they are allowing their partner's parent to parent them, that makes the partner the bad guy. That's not fair. Okay? That's never fair. So parent your own child, not your partner. All right? Enough said. Take care now. Bye.